Alright, today's topic is finding a quadratic function from a graph. So, in the past we have a quadratic function and an equation, right? And we put it in the graph, we graphed it, and this time we're actually going to have a graph, and we're going to do the opposite and find the function for it. So, let's start off with, remember, our equation for our quadratic function would be ax squared plus bx plus c, right? So what we're going to do is, I have some examples here, and we're going to go through, and we're going to go look at the graph and write their function for this graph here, okay? So the first thing we want to do when we look at a graph is find the x-intercepts, okay? So where is across my x-axis here? Remember, the x-axis is the one that goes left and right. So if you look, our function crosses at 2 points, right? It crosses at -2, right? And it crosses at +6, right? So at -2 and +6. So I'm going to write that down. So I'm going to say x equals -2 and +6, right? So those are my x-intercepts, okay? So now what I want to do is to set this up is we're going to use this equation here, okay? So we're going to have 2 sets of parentheses, all right? And we're going to put x plus in both of them, okay? Actually, no, we're not. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to look at our x-intercepts here, right? We have -2 and +6, right? So we're going to put these numbers here in our parentheses, but we're going to flip the signs, okay? So our -2, we're going to flip it, becomes a +2, okay? And our +6 is become a -6, okay? So flip whatever your x-intercepts are, flip the signs once you put them in your 2 sets of parentheses here, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put an a in front, right? And this is our a right here, right? This is the a that we're trying to figure out what number is going to be in the very beginning of our function here, okay? So we need to figure this out, and we will when we solve through it. So now, what we need to do is we need to pick a point on the function here to solve, okay? To solve for our a. So if you look, let's pick a point right here. Our vertex, we know, is on the graph, right? Our vertex is right here. It's the point that we've been finding in the past, right? So if you look, so where is this point on the graph? So if you look, that's x is 2, right? And then y is -8. So 2, -8. So I'm going to use the point. I'm going to write this up here. 2, -8, right? That's going to be the point that I'm going to use, okay? So found my vertex, 2, -8, 2, -8, right? Now, I'm going to get rid of this for a sec. Now I'm going to plug this in into my equation down here. So my equation is going to be y equals a x plus 2, x minus 6. Alright, so I'm going to plug this is my x, right? X and y. So I'm going to plug this, the 2, in for both x's, and my -8, my y, in for the y here, and I'm going to solve for my a. So, my y I'm taking out, I'm putting -8 equals a, parentheses, instead of x, I'm putting 2 plus 2, and then my x again, 2 minus 6. Okay? So now, when we're at this part, go ahead and solve what's in the parentheses. So, 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 minus 6 would be -4, right? And you can use a calculator, it's okay. I'm not going to, we're not judging here. Bring down my a, bring down my -8. Now we're multiplying our numbers here. 4 times -4 would be a -16, right? We'll bring my a, put it behind it, do my -8. Okay, I'm just going to move this up here to give me more room. Okay. Now, to get my a by itself, what do I do with -16? I divide, do the opposite, and divide by -16 on both sides, right? That cancels out, and my a equals -8 divided by -16 would be a +1/2, okay? Alright, it's a fraction, it's okay, alright? Use a calculator if you don't know, if you're unsure, right? But it's going to be a fraction. It's okay. Fractions are okay. They're not bad things, all right? Just deal with them, okay? So my a is going to be 1/2. So I'm going to write that down. I'm going to write that down up here. A equals 1/2. Okay? So, now what I need to do is, let me erase this just to show, just to get some space here. Okay? So I have my A, it's 1/2. I have my x-intercepts, -2 and 6, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug my A back into the equation here. So 1/2 parentheses, and I'm going to rewrite those parentheses again. My x plus 2 and x minus 6. Okay, so those are the ones I had previously. I'm just going to rewrite them here. All right. So now I need to go ahead and I need to solve. I need to multiply this all the way through. Okay. Now, if you want, you can FOIL this out, right, and do it that way and multiply by the 1/2, or we can do it the easy way. All right. A little shortcut I'm going to show you here. Okay. So first thing, we have two x's, right? So we know it's going to be x squared, right? Because my two x's, x times x, right? For my middle term, take two numbers and add them together. Okay. So combine them. So I have 2 minus 6, right? So 2 minus 6, right? Well, we said that is -4. So here I'm going to put a -4 with an x, okay? And in my last term, I'm going to multiply the numbers. 2 times -6, right? Well, I'll just put the times there so you know. 2 times -6, and that equals a -12. A -12 will go there, okay? Bring down my 1/2, put that in parentheses, bring down my 1/2, okay? And my last step is to multiply my 1/2 by all the things here, okay? So my 1/2 will multiply by here, here, and here. So my 1/2 times x, that's just going to be a 1/2 x squared, right? My 1/2 times 4. So, all right, so what's half of 4? Well, half of 4 is 2. X stays with it. And 1/2 times 12, half of 12 would be 6. And that is my equation of the graph here, okay, of the function. So, a lot of steps, right? I know, long process, I know, okay? But, just take it step by step, okay? Remember what you're doing. We'll do another one to kind of reinforce. Just gonna erase this, give myself more room here. Alright, so let's look at another one here. So down here, alright, let's look at remember first step, x-intercepts. Well, my x-intercepts are at 1 and 3, right? So +1, +3. So I'm going to write that up here. My x's are 1 and 3, right? Now, I'm going to go ahead and put two parentheses, right? And then I'm going to put my x's in the front, and then I'm going to flip the signs of these here, right? So this +1 becomes a -1. This +3 becomes a -3. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick a point. We're going to add my a in front, right? And we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to go y equals a x minus 1, x minus 3, right? That's the formula I'm going to use to solve for my a. So let's pick a point. Let's pick an x and y on the graph. So if you look, the easiest one to do, honestly, guys, is your vertex, right? What's your vertex? Is right here. It's the middle. It's the bottom of your graph. So it's at 2, -1, right? So my point I'm going to use is at 2, -1, right? This is my x and my y. Okay. So I'm plugging that in. My y. I'm going to get rid of this. My y is -1. So -1 equals. My a is what I'm trying to figure out. And then parentheses, my x is 2 minus 1, and then my x 2 minus 3. Okay, so we're solving. We're doing the parentheses first. So 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 minus 3 is -1. Right? Bring my a down, bring my -1 down. Multiply the two together. 1 times -1 is -1. A comes down with it, -1. Last step, I'm dividing by my -1 on both sides, and my a equals a +1. Okay? So, a is +1. I'm going to write that up here, a equals 1. Alright? I'm going to erase this. I'm going to leave this here to make it easier for you guys to see, because I think I messed up that last time. So now we're going to go ahead. We're going to put my a in front as 1, right? And then parentheses. Let me rewrite this: x minus 1, x minus 3. All right. Now we're multiplying all the way through. Okay. So once again, you can either FOIL it if you want to make it feel better, or you can do the shortcut that I told you. Okay. So shortcut way. 1 could be in front. I have my x times x would be x squared, and then I'm going to add these to combine these together. Okay. So -1 minus 3, right? And that's a -4. So minus 4x. Remember the x needs to go in the middle there. Okay, remember that x in the middle. And then -1 times -3 equals a +3. So that's a +3 at the end, right? And then 1 gets multiplied all the way through, but we know it's just the same, so it just stays the same because it's multiplied by 1. And that's my final answer. Okay, so like I said, it's steps, it's a process, right? But stick with it, okay? Follow the shortcuts, and you'll be fine.